Hi guys, I just wanted to give a little update because as everybody knows, the World Cup is happening in Doha, Qatar this month. So exciting. And as an American that's been there, I figured I could offer a few travel tips and suggestions that might be helpful for any of you wonderful soccer fans that are going and maybe don't know quite what to experience. So, first off, Doha is visually stunning. So I'm talking like you have buildings. There's one that literally looks like a Christmas present under a tree. There's another that looks like a cocktail ring. It's a hotel. There's all these like really visually stunning things to look at, which is super awesome. And so everywhere you go is very picturesque. The architecture is like phenomenal. But some other things that might be super helpful for you to know. For example, when you get to the airport, Doha and Qatar still require you to have your PCR test for COVID. So if you don't have that, like me when I flew in, because I didn't know, because everywhere else I've been traveling to, it was lifted. So they do have a spot in the airport, which is super helpful because a lot of countries that I have flown to do not have PCR tests available in the airport. So Doha's international airport does have that. So in case you land and you're panicked and you're like, I don't have my PCR test, they do the rapid test there for you, small fee. You also, this is super important, they have a registration to get into the country. You will need this with you where you go everywhere. I mean, everywhere. So when they filled out my PCR test, which was negative, yay. Also, if it's positive, they detain you for 5 days in a hotel, FYI. So if you're feeling sick, just a heads up. Anyways, so they take it and they tell you with your phone, take a screenshot of this on your cellular phone. And they say that to every person. And the reason that they say this is because every time you go to step in anywhere, they're going to ask to see that verification that you have permission to be in the country and you're registered to be there. For example, before you step into the mall, before you step in a restaurant, if you accidentally step outside of the airport and need to step back inside the airport, you have to show it. While you enter your hotel, you have to show it. Every restaurant before you're seated asks to see it, like literally everywhere. So if you're traveling with a buddy and maybe you're like me and you don't always have your cell phone on you, have your buddy take a picture of your entrance paperwork as well. Or maybe have each other's on your phones because otherwise you are not getting into anywhere. You will just be roaming the glorious streets of Doha. So heads up, have that. You need it. Also super awesome to know that you can go get your COVID test there in country if you forgot or lost your paperwork or, whatever. It's there. You don't have to show proof of vaccination. Although I am vaccinated, didn't have to show it. So that's also super awesome to know. Another thing that I think would be super helpful to people traveling is to know transportation. So, and conversion rate. So for the US dollar to the local currency, it's about a quarter. So you can just say, okay, here's the price. It's a quarter. And that's what it is in US dollars. So that makes it super easy as far as converting and being able to know in your head roughly what stuff costs. The best way to get around anywhere in Doha is Uber. Download the app, make that your friend because it's crazy cheap. So my luggage got stuck at the airport. I had a layover. So I was staying at a hotel for my layover. Took a Uber from my hotel at the Pearl Residence in Hilton, which was a half an hour drive from the airport. Went to the airport, paid the Uber driver to hang tight while I went in to go grab my luggage inside the airport, was inside the airport, got back to the car, got a trip back another half hour. So we're talking an hour in the car plus wait time. It was less than $50. Obviously, he got a good tip because he's awesome and he rocks. The Uber drivers are incredibly helpful. So, for example, I like taking selfies. I know that's very shocking. But so I wanted to stop at a spot and take a selfie. So he pulled over mid-trip, let me take a selfie. He not only was awesome in that moment, but he was like, hey, there's this other really cool spot to take a selfie. Do you want me to stop? And he totally did. So also there's tour guides you can go take all over town, which it's awesome, but you can Uber everywhere for crazy cheap. To get like a 10-minute drive one way, it's like $3 in the Uber. Like it's super, super cheap. So I'm sure that the Uber rates will be a little bit higher given the amount and volume of people that are there. But all of the Uber drivers are extremely helpful, very friendly, and it's super affordable. So I would highly suggest as you travel all over Doha and explore and enjoy the glorious skyline. It's so pretty. Yeah, Uber is your travel. Be sure to keep your entrance paperwork on your phone and have so much fun.